rewriting every single rule of doing a live music performance. Pretty much sums up what Carly Moffa did at the SteelStacks May 30th, 2025. I've experienced Carly's performances before and reviewed her before, and she's on my very, very short list of anytime I have a chance to see her perform, I'm there. But she's like this entity and just like this presence on stage where she doesn't get lost in the music. She doesn't be up there like, okay, I'm doing this, this is my job, whatever. She becomes part of the music and part of the overall performance and makes you feel to a point like you are part of the music and the show performance also. But the performance at the SteelStacks was, it's almost like 48 hours later. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to sum it up in less than 20 minutes. She comes on stage and starts off solo acoustic. Halfway through the first song, her band joins her. And, it became what I expected. Okay, she's moving around the stage, the energy, the just pure entity on stage. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she completely 180 switches it up and starts really having a conversation with the audience, not talking at them, not just doing the usual lines, but actually having a conversation with the audience. And then she's like, a lot of songs she did were either not released or brand new that nobody's heard before. And at times, she even became, when she was telling like the background on some of the songs, became emotional on stage. So it was even before like the last part of the show, we have a combination of her regular performance, which is just, you have to experience that to begin with, to kind of like almost a behind the scenes, uncut, unedited experience. And there were moments where it seemed like she was almost like, okay, you know what, I'm not playing, didn't plan out what she was going to say next or anything, and just like I said, had a regular conversation with the people, the audience and the people there. And I hate using cliches, but like completely going off a normal script. Then she actually caught a couple of her posts on social media where she got together with, I'm blanking, check the type review on the name of the middle school in Bethlehem, not just to say, hey, look, I want these kids on stage, I want these young performers on stage. She actually spent a couple days at the school with the students and started off where they did one of her songs. The stage is packed with young performers. Then she says, you know what? They did one of our songs. Now we're going to do one of theirs, and we are their backup band. How many times do you hear that in any performance at all? And the students literally took over, and at one point the students took over the instruments and everything, and Carly and her band were just kind of like, okay, we're completely in the background here. They're center spotlight and center stage. And then they ended it with and then of course they did a brand new song where Carly would, between Carly, her band, and the students got together and did a completely brand new song. The music director was placed center stage, front and center. It was just, and I will say this, in 54 years, 49, fell in love with music when I was 5. I lost track of how many live music reviews I did 9 years ago. Over 1,000, 2,000, whatever. That was the single best, most unique and I forget the third word I was going to use, but it was the most unique, real, and raw performance I've ever experienced. I'm talking about including major bands. You've seen Poison, Skinner, Daughtry, Three Doors Down, several major bands, countless. I couldn't tell you how many indie recording artists, but that was the single best, most unique, most raw and real performance I have ever experienced. Carly was herself on stage. She wasn't this kind of like alter ego, especially when she started having a conversation with the audience. This is, it's like, hey, look, this is who I am. This is, these are how some of the songs, the background of some of the songs, some of my experiences, whatever. Period. And between the different elements, some of which I'm blanking on right now just because it's been a very long weekend, honestly. But between all the different elements, check the videos and photos. It just, like I said, almost 48 hours later, I'm trying to figure out how to describe and review this show. And Carly really cares about her fans, and also please check the interview. She made enough time to do a 4-question interview after her show. But Carly truly cares about her fans and people in general. She was thanking everybody so much for being there at the end of her show. She stayed later than what most performers would to meet everybody. The emphasis she placed on those young performers and their teacher is rarely seen and experienced. She's probably one of the best people in general I've ever had the pleasure and honor of knowing. Honestly, in or outside of the music scene. Carly Moffa, if you check out her music, her videos on social media and online is one thing. If you want to truly experience a performance, and one of the best of your life, Carly Moffa is one of the very few on my list that I will tell you in your life. I don't care if you have to travel, figure out a way to get her to your area or whatever. Carly Moffa is one you have to experience, and she is one person you honestly at least have to meet and say hello to. This is long, makes more sense than the first part because part 1 was complete and total physical exhaustion after the show. We'll learn how to do that. Michael Phoenix, founder staff, Fire City Illusion. To your family and friends, as always, please continue to stay safe. Wishing you only the best and much success in your lives.